on 12 News at 10.
A deadly police shooting in one Chandler neighborhood. Why folks who live here say it's not the first time that officers have been here in months.
It's been 2 months since a woman went missing near Seligman, and tonight Shayna Feynman's sister says Shayna was expressing safety concerns leading up to her disappearance.
I don't know where she is, and I don't feel closer to knowing where she is.
Fire crews are battling several wildfires across Arizona. We'll give you an update on their progress as they continue to fight the flames.
We're looking ahead to seasonal high temperatures across the state tomorrow, but things are going to heat up by the weekend, and we have more triple digits showing up in the 7-day outlook.
12 News at 10 starts right now.
We begin tonight in Chandler, where for the second time in 2 months, a neighborhood is the scene of a police shooting. The latest happening just around 1:30 this afternoon when officers responded to a home near Chandler Boulevard and McClintock Road, with the situation escalating into gunfire. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Devine.
And I'm Mark Curtis. Tonight we know the suspect is dead and no officers were hurt, but people living in that area are understandably concerned.
12 News journalist Jonathan McCall has been following this story since it broke earlier today at 4 o'clock and is live with us with the latest on the investigation. Hey, Jonathan.
Mark Caribe, good evening. Nearly 9 hours into this investigation, Chandler police have yet to release the exact details of what led up to this deadly confrontation between one of their officers and that suspect. Since we last saw you on 12 News at 6:30, we've learned that tonight 3 Chandler police officers involved in the scene now on paid administrative leave. It comes as little relief to neighbors tonight who live in this area who in just months have had to see neighbors shot for a second time by Chandler officers. Tonight, shock and disbelief inside of a Chandler neighborhood.
And this has been the quietest, most peaceful homeowners neighborhood.
Wednesday afternoon, officers called to a home near Chandler Boulevard in McClintock Drive.
For what was a domestic disturbance call. We can confirm that police were involved in officer-involved shooting, and we do have one suspect that is deceased.
What led up to the shooting is still unknown.
We are in the initial stages of the investigation.
Judith Ann Hillard says she knows a man who lives at the home.
I see him walking around. He walks down in front of our houses all the time with like 5 little dogs.
As she prays for those involved.
I'm really just praying that my neighbors that I know are okay and that this didn't happen to my people again.
She's feeling a case of deja vu.
Nothing like this has ever happened in 7.5 years until this spring.
In March, 12 News interviewed Hillard when Chandler police shot another neighbor, Luciano Gutierrez, who lives just doors away from her. In that scene, officers say that Gutierrez was in a standoff with police when an unarmed neighbor wandered into the scene. Gutierrez fired at officers who returned fire. The unarmed neighbor was also shot when an officer saw him making movements. Hillard now hoping her neighborhood can return to the quiet and peace she says she's used to.
I hope we don't meet again, a third time.
As we mentioned, nearly 9 hours into this investigation, a number of officers, detectives, and crime scene technicians remain here on scene gathering evidence and information. As part of that investigation, we've seen them going in and out of that house collecting evidence as well. We do know that Chandler police officers do wear body cameras, so at some point in the near future, we can expect to see some video of how this entire scene unfolded in the coming days or even in the coming weeks. As for that other scene in March, the gentleman who fired those shots at police, Luciano Gutierrez, is behind bars facing a number of charges. As for the other man, that unarmed neighbor, he was also shot. Both of those men not hurt now, did recover from their injuries. But again, that case is still ongoing. We're live tonight in Chandler. I'm Jonathan McCall, 12 News.
Jonathan, thanks. New tonight in Tempe. A child is in the hospital after being pulled out of a backyard pool. Tempe police say they were called to a home near Mill Road near Elliott for reports of a possible drowning. When they got there, an 18-month-old child had already been pulled out of the pool and was crying, thank goodness, and breathing on its own. We're told the child was taken to the hospital as a precaution and is expected to be okay.
Developing in Mesa tonight, fire officials are investigating a house fire near Gilbert and Broadway roads and say the person who lives there is still unaccounted for. Mesa Fire first responded to the home just after 6 p.m. They say that the fire quickly spread throughout the house, but they were able to contain the damage to just that property. It's still unclear what caused the fire. We're told that Mesa police have now taken over the scene. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Tomorrow marks 2 months since Shayna Feynman first disappeared. The 35-year-old went missing March 9th, somewhere between Seligman and Peach Springs. Officials say she was walking to a friend's house but never made it. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono has been following this case and joins us live in studio tonight. And Bianca, cases like this are so devastating because of the lack of answers.
Exactly. It's hard to imagine what Shayna's friends and family are going through. And tonight I talked with Shayna's sister. She told me she's received troubling information from those who were in close contact with Shayna in the months leading up to her disappearance. Missing for 2 months after vanishing on March 9th, there's still no sign of Shayna Feynman.
It's so scary to think that it's already been 2 months. I don't know where she is, and I don't feel closer to knowing where she is.
Shayna's sister, Kara, has been speaking out about her sister's disappearance from the moment she found out she was missing. A friend of Shayna's recording this footage for Kara, showing the property where Shayna had been living between Seligman and Peach Springs. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says the 35-year-old was last seen walking to a nearby friend's house, but she never made it there. Shayna's car, wallet, camping gear, and dog all left behind. Detectives also found her cell phone on a nearby property and say the last 2 people seen with Shayna, the owner of the property where she lived and her boyfriend, who she had been dating for close to a year and a half, are not cooperating with the investigation.
To me, it's suspicious. If you're not cooperating and somebody is missing and you were one of the last people to see her, wouldn't you want to find out what happened? It's really hard. It's really hard because they're probably some of the only people that might have answers.
Kara says some who were in close contact with Shayna leading up to her disappearance have shared troubling messages they had received.
On more than one occasion, she shares about feeling fearful and not feeling safe.
Have you been able to gather any information about why she may have been feeling that way?
I don't think she was in a healthy relationship.
2 months and few answers. Kara says someone knows something and is begging them to come forward so her sister can come home.
The people of Arizona need to know what's happening in that area. Truthfully, I feel like they should be angry, just like I am, if not scared, because somebody's doing something terrible there.
And there is now a $10,000 reward for information that leads to Shayna Feynman. If you know anything about where she is or what happened, contact Silent Witness or the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office. Live in studio tonight, Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Bianca, thanks. We want to get to the latest on several wildfires that continue to burn in Arizona. The Flying Bucket Fire is burning about 19 miles southwest of the town of Maricopa. In the past hour, officials announced the fire is 50% contained. So far, flames have scorched almost 2,800 acres, but crews say they are getting a handle on the blaze. Authorities believe it was started by someone shooting in the area.
And now to the horse fire that is burning near Horseshoe Reservoir. So far, it has burned 525 acres. Crews made more progress on the fire today, saying that it's now 29% contained. The cause is still under investigation. Forestry officials say that Horseshoe Dam is closed between Bartlett Dam Road and Horseshoe Lake as crews continue to do their work. Several motorized trails in the area are also closed right now. And 12 News is dedicated to keeping you informed throughout wildfire season. For more details on any fires burning across the state, just scan the QR code that you see on the right side of your screen. That will take you to a page with all the latest information. You can also head over to 12news.com/wildfires.
Time to check in with meteorologist Lindsay Riley as we look ahead to the rest of the week and Mother's Day on Sunday. Another windy day across the state, Linz.
Yeah, it's going to be windy all weekend. We're going to have several afternoons with breezy conditions, although we are falling below wind advisory and red flag warning criteria. You're still going to notice the breeze. Let's check out the Mother's Day forecast. It's going to be a warm one here in the valley. We typically reach our high for the day between 3 and 5 p.m., and we will top out at 98 degrees. Upper 70s along the rim and upper 60s for northern Arizona. It will be a bright and sunny day. Tomorrow in the valley, waking up temperatures will be in the 60s. So nice start to the day on the cool side, actually. And then we'll camp out in the 70s until about lunchtime, and highs will be in the upper 80s tomorrow. So beautiful day tomorrow. On the breezy side, we'll have 60s along the rim, sunshine, 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts. And you'll notice those 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts up in Flag as well, and even Prescott peaking in the 60s. Mark?
So enjoy it while you can.
Yes.
All right, Linz, thanks. Well, this Saturday will mark 1 year since Title 42 came to an end. Since then, 12 News has been covering the border crisis from all angles, and tomorrow, our crews will be live from the border in Yuma and Nogales.
That's right. 12 News journalist Allison Rodriguez arrived at the border earlier today and has a preview of our coverage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Allison Rodriguez along our southern border. 12 News has crews covering the end of Title 42 1 year later. We are taking a look at what has happened along the border wall since then. We know that we saw gaps where hundreds of migrants were coming through. We're checking in to see the latest, if those have been filled. And I'm speaking with the head of Border Patrol agents here in the Yuma sector about what the numbers are really showing.
Look at what we're doing here, and they say, hey, your numbers are down. Well, they are down, but when you look at the lateral flow we're getting from other sectors to help them, because we have the capacity and availability to do so, our numbers are actually still quite high.
From Yuma to Nogales, 12 News will have you covered all day Thursday for our special coverage of the end of Title 42 1 year later, starting tomorrow on Today in AZ at 6 a.m. We hope you'll tune in.